Hi, I'm Daniel Gold, and welcome to the subscriber-only version of the Leadership Lab, the audio experience where I bring my Substack posts to life. By day, I'm a partner at BDO USA, but this podcast is my personal passion project, completely separate and apart from my day job, but reflect the same passion that I exhibit everywhere for teaching, mentoring, and helping others succeed through simple, impactful lessons. It is my hope that you'll walk away with practical takeaways to help you on your leadership journey. Thanks for being a part of this community and for joining me in the Leadership Lab. Let's get started. Strength, gratitude, and the quiet moments that change us. Yesterday, I ran my first half marathon. But the moment that surprised me wasn't crossing the finish line. Was I surprised that I controlled my pace, that I smiled, took in the sights, paced myself, trusted my breathing, and knew my body's rhythm? No, I had trained for that. I had prepared for that. The true surprise came minutes after finishing. While walking through the vendor tents with my family, banana and water bottle in hand, I bent down, hands on my knees, and started to weep. Quiet, involuntary tears of joy. That's when it sank in. That's what surprised me. The culmination of commitment, resilience, and grit overflowed in that silent moment. A reflection of everything I had worked for. I hadn't rushed the process. I hadn't forced it. I trusted the small steps that led me here since I first laced up my running shoes in November of 2022. Every early morning, every quiet 5K, every small choice that nobody saw. What made this moment powerful wasn't that I stayed in my target pace, or even that I quite literally leapt over the finish line. It was this. I executed a plan I believed in. I honored the process, and I crossed the finish line with heart. And leadership is exactly the same. Most people just see the results, the win, the success, the final applause, but they don't see the countless small, disciplined acts that make it possible. They don't see the 4:30 a.m. alarm, the planning, the patience, the relentless choosing to show up when no one is watching. But that's what leadership is. Not a single moment of glory, 1,000 quiet decisions, rather all stacked together. When I lifted myself up from that moment of quiet tears, I realized how deeply this run mirrored leadership itself. And I found myself reflecting on 3 questions. 1, what am I most proud of today? I'm proud that I executed the plan that I set out to achieve. I trusted the system. I stayed patient. I modulated when needed. I stayed steady under pressure. And I performed because I trained to perform. 2, what lessons will I carry forward? Trust the plan. Believe in the process. Be patient. Adapt when necessary. Agility plus discipline creates unstoppable momentum. Not just in races, but in leadership, business, and life. 3, what advice would I give myself a month ago? You are stronger than you think. Setbacks are part of growth. Stay committed. Stay resilient. You have done the work, and when it's time to perform, you will rise. In the darkness of those early mornings, hearing only the birds, a distant car, and the soft sweep of my sneakers across the concrete, I would quietly repeat a mantra. You are strong. You are in control. You are confident. You are a runner. You love who you are. Mile after mile, I grew stronger. Mile after mile, I found more control, not just of my pace, but of my mind and my outcomes. And just like leadership, it wasn't about perfection. It was about progress. So whatever race you are in, when you hit that goal, when you celebrate that project completion, when you stand in the quiet aftermath of achievement, take a moment. Honor the small steps that got you there. Celebrate the courage it took to lead yourself there. Because every finish line is just another starting line in disguise. And thank you, Nike coach Chris Bennett, for that reminder. Remember, leadership isn't about perfection. It's about progress. Take this lesson, put it into action, and continue setting the gold standard in your own life and in work. See you next time.